Diverse cultures, colonial cities, exotic rainforests, and some of the friendliest people you'll ever meet. It's time to meet the new, the real Colombia. Travel. For some, it's a luxurious escape, or maybe an adrenaline-filled adventure. But if you're like me, it's a precious opportunity to discover and to give back. It's time to get real. It's time to get raw. It's time for raw travel. Colombia has a rich history with exceptionally diverse landscapes and cultures. To the north, you'll find picture-perfect beaches where you can relax and get away from it all. To the south, you can enter the exotic world of the Amazon, where you can experience indigenous cultures and get up close and personal with exotic wildlife in lush rainforests. If the excitement of a cosmopolitan area is more your speed, then you'll find bustling cities like Medellin, Cali, Cartagena, and Bogota. But no matter where you go, it's the people that make a trip to Colombia really special. We begin our journey in the exciting capital city of Bogota. So tonight's my first night in Bogota, and the first thing I really noticed is that it's a big city. It was a long ride from the airport. There was lots of traffic. It's a bustling city. The other thing I noticed is that it's pretty cold, and I had a little bit of a hard time breathing, and they tell me that's because of the altitude, and in a couple days I'll get used to that. Other than that, it's a big city, and I'm just looking forward to exploring and seeing what Bogota has to offer. The area of Bogota was originally called Bacata, which means planted fields, by the native Indians Chibchas. Bogota was founded in 1538 and became the capital of the new kingdom of Granada, where Spanish colonizers ruled for centuries. After 1819, the famous South American liberator Simón Bolívar made Bogota the capital of La Gran Colombia, a free land from the Spanish crown combining the lands we now know as Panama, Venezuela, Ecuador, and Colombia. Today, at over 8,600 feet above sea level and with over 7 million people crowding its streets, Bogota is a booming metropolis with lots to offer curious travelers. When you're traveling through Colombia, chances are you might stop in Bogota. A must-see is the historic neighborhood of La Candelaria in the center of the city. La Candelaria, which translates to the Candle City, is a colorful and bohemian downtown neighborhood filled with universities, libraries, cafes, museums, and shops. It's also a great spot to spend the night, whether in a hostel or a boutique hotel like Casa Platypus. Located right in the heart of La Candelaria, owner Germán Escobar was the first to establish a hostel in downtown Bogota. Okay, so Germán, you're a legendary traveler, and you've been to a lot of countries. How many countries have you been to?
120.
120 countries.
Yeah.
Wow. Obviously, you like travel.
I do. Yeah, still.
Tell me a little bit about the Casa Platypus. How long has the hostels and the hotel been around?
I opened the hostel 17 years ago.
So 17 years ago in La Candelaria, were you one of the first hostels? I can't imagine that tourism was as big as it is today.
The very first one.
Oh, the very first hostel in La Candelaria.
There was nothing like that. It was very different, and it took me a while to get the very first customer, but it was a Canadian guy who stayed 2 months with us, and then he took our business cards all over South America, and within 3 months after he left, we were full. And ever since, we have been full. The amount of Americans coming to Colombia is increasing in an unbelievable way. Right. They say that in 1999 there were 5,000 Americans coming to Colombia. Right. Last year there were 500,000. Now in La Candelaria, to me, it's just one of the most beautiful areas of Bogota. It's very historic. You still have some cobblestone streets. There's lots of graffiti. Yeah. And Monserrate, though, is close by. So you can actually hike up to Monserrate. Yeah, I used to do it twice a week. Well, can you still take the metro cable up to Monserrate? You can go with the cable car. Okay, because I did that before. And for me, because of the high altitude, I think I prefer that than walking, you know. No, walking is nice. It's an experience. And then there's also the Gold Museum as well, right? That's a big draw in La Candelaria. Yeah, that's one of the highlights of Colombia, really. To see the way the Indians worked with the gold 500 years ago is amazing. Absolutely amazing. So you have the food, the local food. You can go to Monserrate or the Gold Museum. Also, there's history here. It's a very old part of the city. And I want to thank you for what you did 17 years ago, because I love it. I think it's beautiful. Thank you. Excellent. Here's an idea. If you're an avid reader like me and you're headed on a long trip, rather than bring a whole bunch of books, just bring one. A lot of hostels and boutique hotels have book exchanges. So when you're done reading the book, you can just exchange it for a new one. Big
cities like Bogota are also hubs for organizations that offer ways for travelers to give back through volunteer work. If you want to donate some time or money to help others during your visit, you can contact groups like World Vision, who work in nearly 100 countries, including Colombia.
World Vision International is a global organization working with poor people, particularly focusing children, creating better situations, better conditions for children.
So if someone's visiting and they're here on vacation or they're traveling and they want to help, how would you suggest? What's the best way for them to help?
One can be in a short-term trips or short-term missions, working with our people, doing the work we do in certain areas.
In Colombia, World Vision works with impoverished people in need in areas like Barranquilla, Cali, Medellin, Bogota, and more. World Vision welcomes individuals that can bring their unique set of skills to the field. So if someone happens to be a doctor, then they could obviously help out with the medical needs. If they're an educator, they could help out with the educational needs. Or maybe a video team, they could help you guys document things.
Absolutely.
So you will tailor the volunteer opportunities to someone's strength, correct?
Yes, we do.
And if they don't have a lot of time, but they're still inspired to give, they can sponsor someone through a monetary donation on a monthly or one-time only basis, correct?
Right.
Medellin is the second largest city in Colombia with over 2.4 million people, and it has a whole different vibe than Bogota. Founded in 1616, Medellin's residents are called Paisas. Paisas are known to be extremely friendly, and they like to have a good time. Maybe that is why Medellin has such legendary nightlife. I met up with my friend Paula, who guided me around the city on the metro train system. The metro can compete with any train system in the world. It's really clean, very cheap, and efficient. It takes you from north to south in a short time. You can really see the difference in the various neighborhoods from the train. We're headed to Santo Domingo in the north of the city. But to get to this mountaintop barrio, you need to take the metro cable. The cable car is a great way to see the city and its diverse neighborhoods from a different angle. Locals often put together events for kids and other activities to encourage better living conditions. Me being a rare visiting gringo to these parts, well, let's just say I got a lot of attention. Hey, I could get used to this.
En inglés.
En inglés, por favor. Oh.
¿Cómo le ha parecido este evento?
Me gusta. El evento es muy bueno.
So, Paula, we're here in Santo Domingo, one of the poorer areas of Medellin, and they have this beautiful library. Why did they build this library here?
And we have this library here to give education, arts, and another option of living to the people of the community.
And what kind of activities do they do here?
Workshops, films, spaces for kids, play, internet areas, library, many things.
Okay, and is it working? Do you see that the kids are improving here, that they're coming here and improving their education?
Yeah, every day you can see all the kids coming to the park to have fun with their friends. More than 1,500 every day coming.
1,500 people come here every day. Wow. And it's accessible by the metro cable, so that increases tourism to the area and improves the quality of life as well, correct?
Yeah, it's really cheap to come here with the metro and metro cable.
My journey through Medellin is just getting started. We discover a fascinating park full of all kinds of cool stuff. Check out Colombia's most popular aquarium, and most importantly, I sample the hot spots with my friend Stefania as she shows me the legendary Medellin nightlife.
It was time to kick off our shoes and head over to Barefoot Park, a park created smack in the middle of the city so that stressed out city dwellers could connect with nature. Hey, I'm not stressed, I'm on vacation. But we give it a try anyway. First we enter a beautiful garden barefoot so that we can feel the environment in our toes. Then I try the maze, but the trick is to do it with your eyes closed. Yeah, right. Then they expect you to walk on top of the maze, also without seeing. Easier said than done, my friend.
That's really hard not to look down. It's your instinct is you have to look down.
Then there's the water section, where you can refresh your feet and wash off the dirt in a pool of cool, clear water.
So I think it's really cool that Medellin, which is a big cosmopolitan, very modern city, also it's sort of a green city in a way, right? It still has a lot of parks, it has a lot of areas where people can go, and I don't hear any noise pollution or anything like that here. It's very quiet, it's very tranquil. I'm very relaxed, actually. I like this.
We then stopped off at Parque Explorer. This is a cool little amusement park with science-related games and fun activities. An amusement park for your brain. I put Paula through a body pin mold. I'm not sure how much brain power that used, but it sure was fun.
So there we go.
Yeah.
Los pies y la cabeza.
La cabeza. The head?
Yeah.
I don't think there's an easy way to do this. Does that hurt? All right, let's see. Que lindo. The head? Not much. Un poco. Nice. Good job.
Inside Parque Explorer, you can go inside an earthquake simulator. It simulates a 6.0 earthquake, which Californians will tell you is no joke. Now remember, in Colombia, there's only snow in the Andean mountain peaks. So for Paula, this was different. Try New York in February, Paula. The wind simulator was fun. Parque Explorer has one of the best aquariums in all of Colombia with fresh fish and sea life to enjoy. I'm suddenly craving sushi. Then there's the reptile exhibition. Ladies, if you happen to see a bright neon-looking frog, don't kiss it. He is not a prince. These cute little frogs will kill you in a second if you touch them, so stay away. One place you do not want to miss while in Medellin is Pueblito Paisa. This is a replica of a traditional Paisa town in the country. Located on the mountaintop overlooking Medellin, you can get away and get the feeling of the countryside without actually leaving the city limits. It has a local church, shopping area, restaurants, and a lot of local treats. If you're like me and you have a sweet tooth, then you should try the oblea, a big cookie with caramel and all kinds of other sweets inside. Delicious and not too heavy. There are also rooms that illustrate how life was in the 1800s. There's an example of a kitchen, bedroom, and barbershop that take you back to the colonial days. Nightlife in Colombia is awesome, but Medellin nightlife is nothing short of incredible and just might be the best in all of South America. You'll find all types of music and atmospheres for every taste. But if you want a one-stop shop for a good time, then it's Parque Lleras, located in the upscale suburb of Poblado. Almost every night of the week it's on fire. Well, the drinks are at least. For a totally different party vibe, just outside the city is a favorite hangout spot called Sabaneta, where I hooked up with my friend and Medellin resident, Stefania.
Okay, Robert. Read me on in Dulce Jesus mío.
Okay, Dulce Sweet Jesus. My Sweet Jesus?
Of course.
That's the name of the bar?
Yes.
It's My Sweet Jesus. Oh my God, that's the name of the
You're
bar.
going to find a little priests and vibrators.
Priests with vibrators. Oh my
Do you
God.
want to come?
Yeah, I gotta check that out, man.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Dulce Jesus Meal is a wild restaurant, bar, and playground for adults in a carnival-like atmosphere. People are dressed up like it's Halloween every night, and apparently the thing to do is to dance on tables, before or after a shot of aguardiente, which is a typical Colombian drink. But none of that for me, thank you. At My Sweet Jesus, I want to stay alert, because while I don't know what might happen next, I sure don't want to miss it.
Coming up, we venture out to hit a punk rock show in the barrio. Then things get rocking literally with a side trip to the town of Guatape to, yep, you guessed it, see a big old rock. And if you're into sunny beaches or are a hopeless romantic, then you're in luck. Cartagena is the spot for you.
When you're traveling internationally, your passport can be your best friend. But trust me, it's no fun if it gets lost or stolen. So what I like to do before I travel is I'll simply take a photo of it with my camera phone. And I'll take a photocopy with me as well. That way, when I get to my destination, I can put the original somewhere safe, in a hotel safe if they have it, or in my luggage, and just walk around with the photocopy. Entertaining myself in Medellin was easy. I'm a big punk rock fanatic, and to my surprise, there's a vibrant punk and metal scene in Medellin. In the comunas, or local neighborhoods, you can find concerts for all types of music, often sponsored by the local government. I went to a punk concert, of course. I saw hardcore punks mixing it up with metalheads, ska and reggae fans, and everyone was really into it. While there, I met Los Sucios, a talented local punk band that rocks out solely in Spanish. Los Sucios, which translates to The Dirties, have been rocking the punk scene in Colombia since 1996. ¿Cómo está?
Bien, Robert.
Bien? Okay. What are some of the band's influences?
The musical influences, La Clamidia, Edith Terror, Stiff Little Fingers, Ramones, many bands.
Stiff Little Fingers, Ramones. Okay,
Yeah.
many bands. And The Clash?
The Clash. The Clash. Excellent.
Excellent. Okay, tell me a little bit about the punk scene here in Medellin, Colombia. It seems to be pretty big from what I've seen. A lot of people.
Very
punk
big
music.
scene. Mucha gente, muchas bandas, muchos conciertos. El punk rock está muy vinculado a la causa social aquí en Medellín.
Why do you think? Why is it so big here in Medellin? Do you think-
Porque es una música en la que no se necesita ser un virtuoso para practicarla. Es una música real, muy real.
After the hustle and bustle of a place like Medellin, sometimes you want to dig a little deeper and get away and relax. So just an hour and a half outside of Medellin is a really cool place called El Peñol in Guatape.
Founded in 1811, Guatape is a peaceful little town famous for the massive rock formation that people climb to get a picturesque view of the lakes below. But Guatape is also a great reminder of a time passed by.
I think in every town like Guatape, there's always a square and there's always a place, a good place to start basically whenever you're traveling is the town square. One of the things I noticed in traveling throughout Colombia is that the buses, which are called chivas, are very beautiful, they're very colorful. Well, they do the same thing here in Guatape, except they do them with motor taxis. And as you can see, they're also very colorful and beautiful.
If you're feeling adventurous and want to do more than just stroll around town, well, Guatape has many activities, like canopying over the lake. You get a bird's eye view of the town and the mountains surrounding you. Just be aware to slow down when you get back. Hey, how do you stop this thing? You can also go horseback riding or jet skiing, or you can buy souvenirs for friends and sweets for yourself.
So this is coconut with panela, which is basically sugar. It's really sweet and it's really good. Next up, Colombia's diversity is on full display as I head to the north coast to get some much needed beach time and visit the historic and romantic retreat of Cartagena. So today was my first day in Cartagena and it was raining, so I didn't get to see a lot, but what little bit I did see really excited me. The first thing I noticed was like the contrast really between the old city and the new city. It was just amazing. And then also the second thing I noticed was how the tourists mixed in with the locals and how they both seem to depend on each other. And so I'm hoping, it looks like the rain is going to lift and I'm going to get out there and explore the city tomorrow and I can't wait.
Cartagena de Indias was one of the biggest slave ports in the transatlantic slave trade. Thousands of men, women, and children were bought and sold here, then distributed throughout Colombia and as far as Peru. Today, Cartagena is one of the most popular tourist spots in all of Colombia. Its forts are very well preserved, and walking through the old city feels like taking a giant leap back in time.
Okay, Ronald, so tell me a little bit about Cartagena. I know it's a very old city, but how old is it? When was it founded?
Okay, Cartagena was founded in the year 1533 by Pedro de Heredia.
Oh, wow. So it is old. Can you tell me a little bit about this place? What is this place called?
Okay, this place is called the Proclamation Square.
Proclamation Square. And why is it important to the history of Cartagena?
It's very important because in this place was when the poor people came and yelled out for freedom.
And this happened in November 11th?
November 11th at 11 a.m., the day 11, month 11, everything at 11. That's why we celebrate.
1811.
Yes, in 1811.
Oh, okay, so if I'm here on November 11th, there's going to be a big party?
Big party, yeah, everybody, these guys partying, many parades.
So when I get to a new place like I am right now in Cartagena, one of the first things I want to do is get out of the tourist zone and find out how the locals live. And one of the best places to do that is the local market.
Every morning in the market, merchants load up their area with fresh food and cook up traditional dishes. You'll find paellas, all types of seafood, chicken. Coconut rice is very customary for locals. Since most of the people from the market are of African descent, many of these foods have a distinct African influence. Okay, so here's a tip. Whenever you're traveling to a remote location, always remember to bring your own toilet paper. The African influence is also found in local music. In the 1980s, cargo ships from Africa brought music such as soukous and highlife. Locals made their own version and called it champeta. I hooked up with Luis Towers, a longtime local champeta artist. Hey, Luis.
Hey, Robert.
What's up, man?
Hey,
how you doing, man?
Fine, fine.
Good to see you.
Good.
Hey, man, can you tell me, what is champeta music?
Champeta music is African music in Spanish.
And is it important to the culture here in Cartagena?
Yes, it's very important for us because champeta is the popular music in Cartagena.
Very popular in Cartagena. Okay. Well, Luis is a very famous champeta musician, and he's going to show me around. So let's check it out. All right, let's go.
Okay.
All right, brother.
This is Plaza de San Pedro.
And then in this square was where a lot of the slave trade occurred, correct? Here in San Pedro Plaza?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's very famous for the buying and selling of slaves, and San Pedro was very kind to the slaves and took care of them. All over the old city, you'll find local artists painting and capturing the unique beauty of Cartagena. Do you always paint here?
Yes, all the time.
Because it's very quiet, or because you are inspired by the beauty here?
Because I can sell my painting in this place.
That's a good reason. So it has nothing to do with inspiration or tranquility, it's because tourists are here.
Yeah.
Now you don't want to come to Cartagena and not visit the beaches. Las Islas del Rosario, or Rosario Islands, are comprised of many islands just 40 minutes away by boat. You'll see celebrity homes, beautiful wildlife, and your choice of incredible and glamorous beaches. Playa Blanca is a favorite. You can ride on banana boats, jet ski, snorkel, or scuba dive, and get bombarded by merchants. A quick stop at the aquarium and then a bite to eat. Fresh lobster, anyone? Sure hope that doesn't come back to haunt me. More sun and fun, but Playa Blanca can be a bit touristy. Sometimes the best part of a side trip is getting back to home base. The sun is coming down, and I can't help but think about my life.
Looking at the big skyscrapers reminds me of the U.S. But then I look over and see the forts and can't help but think of the history that took place here. All the tragic heartache and misery caused by slavery, and now, just over 150 years later, this place is a tourist destination. Crazy. I'll admit I was a bit apprehensive about visiting Colombia my first time. But now that I've experienced the hospitality of Bogota, Medellin, and Cartagena firsthand, I can't wait to come back and explore other parts of this incredibly diverse and friendly country.